Just gonna wait, see if a few more people trickle into the room, and then we'll get this video, this live stream started. Actually, I'm just gonna get it started right now. Okay, so hey, what's up, comic book culture? It's your boy CBM in the house, in the place to be, and welcome back to my comic book channel, Indie Key Comics and Collectibles, where we collect, review, and invest in anything and everything comic book related. I know a lot of you are probably saying, CBM, where have you been? You haven't put out a video since the summer. And I haven't. I just haven't had the time. As you can see from that thumbnail, I've just been busy collecting a lot of stuff. And I really, just went hardcore into it. I went to antique malls. I went to estate sales. I've been to flea markets. I went to garage sales, but mostly a lot of dollar bins and a lot of eBay. And I've been finding some great deals. And before we start this video, I just want to mention some of the great deals that I got off of eBay, because that's what we're going to primarily be covering the next 3 to 4 videos. Okay, so to start off with, I got 116 Thor comic books for $115 plus $19 for shipping. The guy ended up refunding me the shipping. I thought that was a great deal. It's basically 116 comics for $115. I got another comic book set. It was 73 Thor comic books for $39 and $10 worth of shipping. That's beyond a great. That's less than 50 cents a comic book, and it doesn't get any better than that. I also picked up 90 Thor comic books for $124, free shipping, and then 166 Thor comic books for $165, free shipping. I've also been picking up a lot of lenticular 3D covers. I think they put out those lenticular 3D homage covers back in 2016 or 2018. And I really wasn't collecting Marvel comics back then, so I kind of missed out on all of those comics and all of those dope, super cool covers. And I just been buying them anywhere where I can find them, but it's mostly been eBay that has been giving me the great deals on that. So I got a video coming up out on that. And then I've been really busy collecting a lot of Alex Ross Timeless covers and those Disney covers and just a whole bunch of Marvel stuff. I don't want to tell you guys too much about what I have up and coming. But as for today, I've got over here, I believe this is the 73 Thor comics that I bought for $39 plus $10 worth of shipping. And like I said, that's less than 50 cents a book. And I say anytime you could pick up any Thor comics for $1 or less, pick them up. Try to complete that run. A lot of people think that completing a comic character run is so impossible. It's not that impossible. You could feel. I think Thor is up to issue 600, and with all of these deals I've got lately on Thor comic books, on all of these lots, I want to say I have at least half the collection, if not more than half the Thor run. And I think for the money I spent, that's a bang. That's not a bust. Before this, I had maybe 75 Thor comics, and now I've got about 400 to 500. So I think that's pretty cool. So let's jump into this video. Let's get it started, and I'm gonna show you all the comics that I got. All 79. How many was it? All 73 comics for $39 plus $10 worth of shipping. Okay, let's get it started. First comic up, it is Thor issue 385. With him battling the Incredible Hulk. And I think that's a really, really cool cover. Doesn't get any cooler than that. I already opened it and I already re-bagged and boarded all of these books, so they look pretty great in these new bags and boards. I think I could just easily select about 3 to 4 really dope covers out of this whole collection and make my money back off of this set. And I think that's what is important, is that I got them for super cheap. And there's some great books. The condition is great. The covers are cool. And I'm eventually going to read every single book. Got to get your money's worth. Here is Thor 386. That one looks pretty beat up if you can see it on camera. This one also looks pretty beat up. But I love this cover because it's got, Thor. It says Judgment Day. There's a celestial. I love, love, love anything with cosmic beings on it. On the cover, part of the storyline. And I think Thor has crossed over with so many cosmic entities, like, from like the Celestials and Galactus and Silver Surfer and Adam. I think it's safe to say that Thor is pretty much a part of the cosmic universe. I know he's a part of the Avengers and he's always on Earth and saving the day and stuff, but to me he's a part of the cosmic universe. Here is Thor 386. Now, I don't want to sit here and act like I'm insanely in love with Thor. Like, I think Thor is probably my 7th favorite Marvel character and title. Like, before I read a Thor comic book, I'm going to want to read some Silver Surfer, some Adam Warlock, some Thanos, some Captain Marvel, some Avengers, some Fantastic Four. And then, if I don't have anything else to read, then I'm like, okay, it's time for some Thor. So I want to say he's in my top 10. He's in my top 7, actually. And I would definitely want to read some Thor before I read, like, some Spider-Man or Daredevil or Punisher or even the X-Men. Because those just aren't my thing. I'm more about, like, the cosmic side of the Marvel Universe. So Thor's kind of been going up the ladder lately. Like, like he's ranking higher and higher on my list nowadays. Because he really is a part of the, cosmic universe. That's Thor 389. Here is Thor 391. And this is another cover that I believe if I just pick out like 3 or 4 covers out of this patch of comics that I bought, I could easily make my money back. Because I only paid $39 for the whole set. And I do believe there's easily 3 to 4 like really nice covers in here that I could just sell and make money. But I'm not going to sell any of this. Any kind of Marvel comics that I pick up from here on out, I'm just going to save and hold on to them for the long run. I mean, the super long haul. And most likely one day pass it on to my son. Here's Thor 392. Here is Thor 393. Here's another dope cover that I could easily make $10 off of. It's Thor with Daredevil on the cover. I pick out 3 or 4 of these type of covers and I got my money back. So don't let anybody tell you that there's no money to be made in dollar bins. There's no money to be made in buying run fillers. That there's no money to be made in buying things in bulk and in huge batches. There's money to be made in these comics, in every comic. The way comics are going right now, the way the comic book economy is going right now and comic book stores are going, don't be surprised if one day you don't see that many comic book stores around and you see a lot of these books end up in antique malls. And I think there's going to be a day where your regular average run filler is going to be a $5, $10, $15, $20 book, and your keys are going to be, even your minor keys are going to be $20 to $50. So try to complete a Thor run, a Spider-Man one, because there's going to be a day where you're not going to be able to just go into your local comic book store and just flip through all the Spider-Man books. In about 5 years from now, those days are going to be long gone, and you're going to be real happy that you have a complete run of a Spider-Man or Thor or Silver Surfer or something like that. Here is Thor 394. I love the artwork on these covers. It's Thor 395. Back in the day, the cover on the artwork, the artwork on the front cover, it kind of told you like a story of like what was to come in that comic book, And I really miss those days. Nowadays, you can buy a Fantastic Four comic book and it's going to have Moon Knight on the front cover and it has nothing to do with the actual comic book inside. And I miss the days of when, the front cover told you a quick little story about what was about to happen. I mean, just look at all the action on this cover. Here's Thor 396 with a Black Knight. Another dope cover. Another cool cameo appearance. Here is Thor 397. Here is Thor 398. Oh, I love this issue. This cover's got Odin and Thor on it. That is $3.99. And this batch right here was from like issue like 300 and what did it start at? 385. And it's all the way to issue 444. So I know that's a lot of late issues, but I think that's still all like just volume 1 of Thor. Like, you know. So I think this is a bang. This is worthy. You know, this was worthy of the price I paid for it. I only paid $39 plus $10 worth of shipping. So I think that was a phenomenal deal. Here is Thor issue 400. Here is Thor issue 401. And just to let you guys know, this is my first live stream, so I am a bit nervous. I've never just gone and done a video without being able to like go back and edit it and, you know, edit out all the crappy stuff. But I am trying my best. And the reason why I started live streaming is because I don't have time, like I said earlier, like to film a video and then the next day have to edit that video and dedicate 2 days to like filming and editing. I don't have that kind of time because I have things to do, you know. I have a lot of collecting to do, a lot of reading to do. Here's issue 402. I got a family to take care of and stuff, so just a little bit on the busy side. But I still want to share things with the comic book community, so, you know, here I am trying to do live streams. Here's issue 405. And I'm sure I'll get better as, you know, I go on. This is just my first attempt. Here is issue 406. With Thor stopping a missile, a nuclear missile. Here's issue 408. And you know, guys, if you catch anything you like here, just let me know in the comments down below. And, you know, I believe all of these books have a value of like maybe $5-10 at the most. Here is a really beautiful cover, and it's in great shape. It's in, I want to say it's easily a 9.0 to a 9.4. And this is Thor issue 409. It's got Doctor Doom, Hercules, and Thor all on the front cover at the same time. I don't know if this is a key issue or not. If anyone knows, because my knowledge on Thor comic books isn't that deep. So if anyone sees any sort of key comics in this little collection, let me know in the comments down below and say, hey, issue 409 is a key. It has this appearance in it. Because I really don't know that much about Thor. I'm not like an expert on Thor comic books like the way I am with Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock and Thanos and stuff like that. I'm not really too sure which comics in this batch are keys or minor keys or just, you know, run fillers. This is another cool cover. It's got Hercules, Thor, She-Hulk, and Doctor Doom on it. Here's issue 410. I really also want to start getting into buying original art. And I really would like to find some original art with Doctor Doom and Thanos on it. Maybe like Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock. I was thinking if I can get some original art from the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, or Infinity Crusade crossover, I'll be real happy with that. If I can get some sort of artwork from that series. And here is Thor issue 415. Here's Thor issue 414. Oh, that one was out of order. But yeah, these I think are some really beautiful comics. And I want to say the range on the condition on this whole set was anywhere from like, I mean, there was maybe a few comics that they were looking like a 6.0 or something like that, or a 5.0. But I want to say the range was pretty much from maybe as low as 7.0 to as high as like a 9.4, some of these books. But I want to say for the most part, they were like all like 9.0 to like 9.2, 9.4. Here's issue 413. I mean, you can see hopefully the condition for yourself and judge. Here's issue 417 with the Stalker from Space. I think this might be like one of those Loki TVA keys from the show. I'm pretty sure it's gotta be. Here's Thor issue 416. Really cool cover. Also, I want to say that when I was buying these books off of eBay, I really wasn't doing a good job like at paying attention to whether these books were newsstands or direct edition. And I want to say all of these are like newsstands. And I'm not a big newsstand person. I always feel like comics that came from the newsstand have more wear and tear on them, more damage. You know, you're gonna find things like that comic books that were sold in the comic book store weren't gonna suffer from, like sun damage. Every comic book from a newsstand is most likely got some sort of sun damage because they were sitting out there in the sun, directly in the sun. So I'm not a real big fan of picking up newsstand editions because I always think they suffer from some sort of damage on it, or more than the usual comic, like bends and creases on the spine because they were sitting in a spinner or on a newsstand rack. So I'm not saying I would have not bought these books if I had realized that they were all newsstands, because I got a great deal on them. But I do try to normally avoid newsstand books. And I do know that sometimes a newsstand edition will have more value than a directed edition. And that's why I took the gamble on them. I said, let me see what kind of condition these books are in. And I got them for super dirt cheap. Again, I only paid $39 for 79 Thor comic books, and the shipping was only $10. So that's less than 50 cents a piece. I think if I ever want to sell these books, I'm going to easily make my money back off of these. And the good part was that they were in really nice shape, really good condition. Like, look at this Thor issue 418. To me, that's looking perfect. That's more than good enough for the PC. If I'm looking at that book, I think it's a 9.4 or a 9.6. Here's Thor issue 419, part 1 of the Summons. Here's my favorite issue, issue 420. Okay, I know that was a bit high schoolish. Wait until I get to number 469. And then here is Thor issue 437. I absolutely love this cover. And this is what I mean by old school covers being better than new school covers. I don't give a fuck about these variants and these 1 in 100s or these 1 in 500s. Sometimes they have a cover on it that has absolutely nothing to do with the comic you're about to purchase. You're purchasing an Avengers comic and it's got damn Moon Knight on it. What does that have to do with the comic book? I miss the days of comic book covers telling a story, and this is one of them. Thor versus Quasar. Look how cool that is. Look how popping and vibrant the colors are that they're using. Some of these modern day covers are so boring. Like, they have like absolutely no color to them. Then up in the corner, you got Hercules laughing. Come on, these are cool covers. They actually tell a story. Let's get back to some of, the old style of covers. Here's Thor issue 436. And guys, if you missed anything in this video, please catch it on the rewind, because there are some great, great covers here. Here is Thor issue 434. Here's Thor issue 432. I don't know if this is a key or not, but it has got a really nice cover. I want to say the condition on it is easily a 9.4, and it's got him battling Loki. And let me tell you, I just got done last night with the Loki show, and that final episode really summed up everything. And I can't believe, to me, the ending, was just epic. Thor is, Loki is he who remains. He's the last man standing at the end of time. I thought that was just like epic. It just like blew my fucking mind away. Out of all the people that it could have been, all of the stuff that could have happened or the way they could have wrote that show, I'm just glad the direction they went in, because it made Loki so much more of an important character in the MCU. And I always thought they kind of downplayed how powerful Loki is in the MCU. Like, in the comic books, this guy's taking on Thor easily. Come on now, guys. Here's Thor issue 431. Yeah, so I'm gonna say I got all of these comic books for less than 50 cents, and with covers like this and the Spider-Man one and Thor battling the Hulk, like I said, I could pull like 4 or 5 comics out of this batch and easily make all my money back. Here's Thor issue 430 with the Ghost Rider on it. Look how cool that is. Nowadays, everyone's going crazy for Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider and Wolverine and stuff. And here's Ghost Rider with Thor back in, 1991. And that's a really cool cover. For all those people that just do, cover buys, there's a lot of cool covers from the 80s and 90s that you can get your hands on that are worth a pretty penny. And they're key issues. Here's Thor issue 428 with Captain Britain. Look at that. And I love the colors they used back in the day. Back in the day when I was a kid, Thor, those yellows and red covers, always were like really popping in. Here's Thor issue 429 with him versus the Juggernaut. That's got to be a good battle. I hate to say it, I might give that to the Juggernaut. I think the only person that could stop the Juggernaut in the Marvel Universe is just the Incredible Hulk. I don't think anyone else should be able to stop the Juggernaut. I mean, I think that he's that powerful. He is the unmovable force. Here's Thor issue 425. And let me know, guys, in the comments if you see any keys that I'm just like blowing by, because I don't know, which one are the Thor keys. My knowledge in Thor is just, I just like to read them. I just enjoy reading Thor comics. He wasn't somebody that I was looking to invest heavily into. Like, I never thought I was going to have 4 short boxes or 5 short boxes full of Thor comics. I never thought I was going to find deals this good on Thor comics. And once I saw these deals that were so good, I just couldn't pass up on them. Like I said, 79 Thor comics for $39. That's just a deal you can't pass up on. Even if he's not your favorite superhero, like, there's still going to be great reads. Here's issue 423. And if you're worried about making your money back on it, comics are going so cheap. They're going for so cheap on eBay nowadays. I don't see how you can't make your money back on them if you shop smart. You got to have some common sense when you're shopping. And there's like a lot of what else did I buy recently? I just bought I think it was Thor issue 6 by Donny Cates with the wraparound cover. It's got Thanos holding the black gauntlet, and then Thor's hammer with all the Infinity Gems on it. I think it's a 9.2. I paid $10 for that book on eBay plus $10 for shipping. That's only $20 for it. Costs more to get that book slabbed. So that's what I'm saying. If you just use some common sense and you spend some time on eBay, you're going to find really great deals. Deals that your local comic book store, they're just not going to give you those kind of deals. Here's Thor issue 439. I know lately a lot of people have been saying that there's better deals on Whatnot. It's just that sometimes I'll spend hours and hours on Whatnot waiting to find one book that I'm actually, want and interested in. And then I got to bid against all the people live, in that room at the moment. So I just love going straight to eBay. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know exactly how much I want to pay for it. And I just love going straight to eBay and finding exactly what I want when I want it for the price I want it. I don't want to have to go to Whatnot and hope that a book that I want pops up. And I hope that I could win it against all the other bidders. I think it's just so much easier to shop on eBay nowadays. And Facebook Market is killing it. Here is Thor issue 440. Again, look at all of the dope appearances on these covers. Another Loki cover. Thor issue 441. Here's issue 442. And here is issue 443 with Silver Surfer on it and Mephisto. I want to say I've got about 4 copies of this book. I don't know why, but every time I see a copy of this book, I pick it up. And when I see a copy of this book, I try to run away from it because I got like 4 or 5 of them. And I want to say the grades range from anywhere from like an 8.0 to a 9.8. This one is looking pretty damn perfect. This one, to me, it's got to be a 9.6 to a 9.8. At the very least, a 9.4. But I love that cover for some reason. I think it's because it's got like the Silver Surfer like bursting out of hell. So I think that's a pretty cool cover. Here is issue 444. And another great cover is coming up. Here is Thor issue 445, and it's got Thor versus Gladiator on it. Look at that battle, like Thor battling Gladiator out in outer space and stuff. That's just an epic cover, and you knew when you saw a cover like that as a kid, you were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. The earth is shattered, blah, blah, blah. The earth is shattering beneath their feet. You got them battling in outer space. You knew there was some heavy-duty action about to come in this comic book. And this is another cover that I think, if you get like this, the Spider-Man cover, the Hulk cover, and there was the Ghost Rider cover. You sell those 4 books for about $40 on eBay, and you just made all your money back from this, set, from this collection. So nowadays, I want to buy smart. I want to buy really smart with my money. And nowadays, I think the best way to go is just to buy in bulk, just to, buy big collections. Why go to a comic book store and pay $39 for one book, one comic book, when you can go on eBay and find a deal like this where you're paying $39 for 73 comic books and $10 worth of shipping? That's nothing. You waste that much in gas just going to the comic book store. Here's Thor issue 446. And here is issue 448. Another really cool cover with Spider-Man on it. And look how poppin' and vibrant the colors are. I mean, they just don't make covers like this anymore. And then when they do make covers like this now, it's either the cover B or a variant cover that you got to pay extra for. Back in the days, these really good covers were the first prints. They were cover A's. I mean, come on now. So nowadays, I'm just really happy with like buying comic books in bulk and buying them for the cheap. And the second you buy a comic book from the store, you walk out of that store, that comic book that you just paid $8.99 for is worth $1. So why not try to get your comic books for as cheap as possible? There's even great deals on eBay for new comic books. The other day, I think there was, I want to say it was like Avengers issue 5. And somebody was selling Avengers issue 5 plus all the variant covers on eBay. And I think they wanted $18. And there was maybe 5 to 7 books in that set. If you go to the comic book store and you try to buy every cover, thank you, Alana. If you go to the local comic book store and you try to buy every cover that comes out for Avengers issue whatever, you're going to be spending at least $30. So I'm telling you, the deals on eBay, they're too hard to pass up. Here's Thor issue 449. Here is Thor issue 450. It was a supersized issue. I got this book for less than $1, for less than 50 cents, and look at the condition that it's in. It's in phenomenal condition. And I just want to say hi to all the people that are joining me in the chat. This is my first live stream ever, and I've never done a live stream, and I'm just completely, extremely nervous because I'm used to like being able to film a video and then edit out all the crappy parts. But I just don't have time for that. But I still want to share with you guys, with you, the comic book community, the comic book culture. I want to share with you guys what I'm buying, the good deals, that I'm getting, where to find them, how to get those kind of good deals, and to let you know, like, I just want to warn people because I feel like lately there's a lot of irresponsible YouTube videos where, like, in 2023, we should not be speculating and investing so heavily in comic books when there's so much more that you got to put your money towards, your family, bills, food, gas, stuff like that. So I'm just trying to share the good deals that I'm getting and like trying to inform people where you could find these good deals, because I feel like the comic book stores nowadays is just pure highway robbery, and the prices on new comic books each week, it's pretty much another bill that you're adding to, to your pockets. And, me, myself, I spent like $35 on new comic book day, but I only collect like 5 titles a month. The thing is, there's so many different variant covers to each title I collect. I find myself spending between 30 to 50 bucks a week. At the end of the month, that's $200. And I also want to get back issues like this, Thor issue 462. So nowadays, when I'm hunting for back issues, the last place I'm going to go to is a comic book store where you get like 4 or 5 back issues and they're all like $7 each. You're spending like $35 on just like 5 comic books. Why not just go to eBay and get, 73 comic books for $39? So I'm just going to keep letting you guys know where the good deals are at. Here's Thor issue 453. And Facebook Market has also been killing it. And I've also just started looking on OfferUp because I'm finding some great deals there too. It's just that, you got to drive and meet up with a complete stranger to get those books. Here's Thor issue 454. And I want to say nowadays, I must have at least, I want to say a little bit over the whole complete Thor one. I want to say I'm really close to completing a whole Thor collection. And I'm going to do it. Here's Thor issue 455. I never thought I was going to have this many Thor comics. Here's Thor issue 456 with a Doctor Strange appearance. Again, guys, let me know if any of these books are keys, semi-keys, minor keys, first appearances. Here's Thor issue 457. I wonder who did all the artwork on these covers. I'm not really good with artists and writer names. I kind of just buy comics based off of the characters I love and if they're good comics, if I enjoy reading them. Here's 459. You're never going to catch me buying or investing in comics that I don't love and that I don't actually read and enjoy reading. If I'm not into Spider-Man, not that Spider-Man isn't cool. I love Spider-Man. But I'm just not really that into his comic books. If I don't enjoy reading Spider-Man, why am I going to pick up that comic book? I don't care how dope the cover is on it. I'm just not wasting money like that nowadays. I don't think people have money to waste like that nowadays. This Thor issue 460. Tell me that's not a beautiful cover. If anyone knows the artist of this cover, please let me know down below. That is such a beautiful cover. I remember this cover as a kid and I always wanted this comic book. The condition is not the greatest. I want to say this is easily like maybe an 8.0 at best. And the comics in this collection that aren't in the best conditions, if I really like that cover or that particular comic book or the story in that comic book run, I'm going to replace them if, when I run into them at like dollar bins or, but nowadays for back issues, I'm trying to pay $1 or less when it comes to like, older stuff from the 80s and 90s. They were so heavily printed back then, so overly printed that it should be easy to find comics like this for $1 or less because they were everywhere. They were really heavily printed. Thor issue 461. Most of these are just run fillers, but I needed to fill up the whole one. Here's Thor issue 462. Look at the anger in his eyes. Look at that artwork. They're just not doing this kind of artwork nowadays. The style is so much more different. I feel like everyone is so like conservative with their comic book covers nowadays. They just want to play it. They want that comic book cover to look so cool, so dope, and sell so much that I just feel like they're playing it safe. And artists they're not putting their heart and their soul into these comic book covers and the artwork in the comic book especially. Thor issue 463 with the goddess on the cover. This is an Infinity Crusade crossover, and one day I want to get all the crossovers for Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, and Infinity Crusade. I'm going to track down every single crossover to those 3 series. Because to me, that's what got me into comic books was Silver Surfer. That led into the Infinity Gauntlet. That led into Adam Warlock. That led into Thanos. That's what my whole collection is based off of and centered around. So something like the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, and Infinity Crusade crossovers, I want to get all of those. I don't want to miss a bit of that story. I don't care if it crossed over into Sleepwalker. I want to get those issues and find out what happened in those Sleepwalker issues. Here's Thor issue 465. Another super cool cover. The comic book looks like it's easily in a 9 4 to 9/8 condition easily. And it's him battling the Super Skrull. Another dope cover, another Infinity Crusade crossover. And let me tell you, the Super Skrull, he's another one of my favorite villains. That's another badass villain. I mean, the guy's got the powers, all the powers of the Fantastic Four. You're telling me you don't think he could take down Thor? Give me a break. Get the fuck out of here. That guy's powerful. The MCU really needs to take advantage of that character and, you know, bring him to the big screen and use him correctly. Here is another cool cover, Thor issue 466, battling one of my favorite superheroes of all time, Drax the Destroyer. If you guys don't know how powerful Draxon is, you're missing out, because Drax, in the MCU, they really downplay how powerful Drax the Destroyer is. But in the comic books, Drax has taken on everyone from the Incredible Hulk to Thor, and he's held his own. And Thanos. Now, I love Drax the Destroyer. I wish they would bring back the old school Drax the Destroyer in his old costume. I thought that thing was epic. Legendary. Nowadays, he's all covered in tattoos. I remember when I first got back into Marvel Comics, I didn't even recognize, I didn't even know that was Drax the Destroyer covered in all those tats. Here is another beautiful, absolutely gorgeous cover for all of you fans of foil. It doesn't get any better than this. Look at Thor issue 475. Look at all of that lightning bolt foil. Like that, those lightning bolts are like glimmering and shining. Like, as far as like a foil cover, it can't get any better than lightning strikes in foil. And I think Thor's hammer is embossed. I mean, look at those foil lightning strikes. Yeah, they just don't make covers like this anymore. Here is Thor issue 476. And then pretty much at the end, here is annual issue 16 from 1991. And again, another dope cover. It's got all of the old school Guardians of the Galaxies on it. And I really miss that old team. That I hope one day to see them in the MCU. Maybe we could say, you know, they came from another multiverse or something, but this is the original Guardians of the Galaxy, and I really miss that group. Here is Thor Corpse, issue 1. The guy threw this in. And also Thunderstrike, which I remember this as a kid. This is another beautiful foil cover with lightning behind Thor, and the lightning's all in foil. The only problem is this one's in pretty bad shape. I want to say this is like a 7.0 at best, or maybe an 8.0 at best. I'm definitely going to look to replace this when I find it in better condition. Hopefully in like a dollar bin, or that's issue 1. I just wish it was in better shape. But guys, that is all of the Thor comic books. I've got about 3 boxes of Thor comics. I'm going to incorporate this into my collection. And when I get it integrated into my collection, I'll give you like, I don't know, maybe we could do like a video where I go through the whole collection that I bought like recently. Let me just run down it again. Lately I have purchased 116 Thor comics for $115 plus $19 of shipping. We're going to do a video on that soon. We just went through the 73 Thor comics that I got for $39 and $10 worth of shipping. I got another box that has 90 Thor comics for $124 that I paid. And then the big one at the end, 165 Thor comics for $165. And those will be like the next 3 to 4 videos that I'll do. And I don't know what time I'm going to do these videos. They may be at random times. They may be during the day. They may be at nighttime. But you guys could always catch it on the rewind. But that's it for now. And peace out, comic book culture. I do it for you guys. Oh, let me read some of these comments. Oh, Norman Rad. Thanks for joining the show, my dude. I'm so glad you're here. I love that name because Silver Surfer is my favorite character. Jason Aaron Thor is the best. Action covers were really cool back in the days. I miss them. Man, thanks for all the comments, Norman. Really appreciate that. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the future pretty soon.